As Jesus looked out over the people, he knew the time had come to choose a few who would carry forth his message. He sought hearts that would endure hardship, men who would share in his vision. Jesus withdrew to the mountain to pray, seeking his Father's guidance for this monumental decision. Through the night, he asked for wisdom, for clarity, and for the strength to lead these chosen ones. As dawn broke, his spirit was calm and determined. The Father's will was clear, and he knew the names of those who would soon follow him closely. Gathering the disciples, he called those he had chosen. He would not choose the powerful or the wealthy, but those with hearts ready to learn and grow. Simon, he called, who shall be known as Peter, the Rock. Peter's heart surged, uncertain yet willing. He felt both unworthy and yet honored beyond measure. Peter knew himself impulsive, quick to act. But if Jesus called him the Rock, perhaps he could become steady, strong, unshakable in faith. And Andrew, he said, the fisherman with a heart ready to bring others to God. Andrew's heart rejoiced, knowing that his work had only just begun. Together, these brothers would cast a new kind of net, one that would draw people to the love of God. James, son of Zebedee, Jesus announced, a man of strength and courage. James' heart swelled, knowing he would stand beside his master, unflinching in the face of trials. Together with John, they would be known as the sons of thunder for their fervor and passion for the kingdom. And John, he said softly, the one who will carry my love to others. John's heart warmed, understanding that he was to reflect Jesus' compassion to the world. Of all, John felt a special closeness to Jesus, a bond that would only deepen with time. His role was to show the world the heart of Christ. Philip, he continued, a seeker of truth, a man who desires to know and share. Philip's heart leaped, understanding that his journey was one of guiding others to the light. He knew he was to be a bridge, to bring others closer to understanding Jesus and the Father. Bartholomew, Jesus spoke, one who has no deceit in him. Bartholomew's spirit was pure, his heart ready to serve with integrity. With a heart untouched by pride, he understood that honesty and faithfulness would guide his journey. Matthew, he said, who shall show that no soul is beyond God's love. Matthew felt both joy and shame, knowing his past, but sensing a new path before him. In Jesus' call, Matthew found a chance for redemption, a chance to serve with a heart renewed by grace. And Thomas, Jesus spoke, one who seeks understanding, a heart unafraid to ask questions. Thomas' mind raced, knowing he would walk this path with both faith and reason. He would be a reminder that doubt, when honestly explored, can deepen one's commitment to truth. James, son of Alphaeus, Jesus declared, a man of quiet dedication. Though lesser known, James' loyalty and resolve would shine through in his actions. He accepted the calling, knowing that he would serve without the need for recognition, steadfast and humble. Thaddeus, he called, a heart of courage and kindness. Thaddeus knew that kindness would be his weapon and courage his shield. He was ready to bring the message of love and hope to a world in need. Simon the Zealot, he continued, whose heart burns for justice. Simon's zeal was tempered by Jesus' wisdom, a balance that would shape his mission. He would learn that true justice is rooted in love and mercy, a lesson that would transform his passion. And Judas Iscariot, Jesus concluded, who will fulfill what is written. Judas felt a conflict within, a mystery only time would unravel. Judas accepted his role, not fully understanding the weight of the choice before him. These 12, each unique, each with his own strengths and weaknesses, stood together as the foundation of a new mission. To each he spoke, you will be my witnesses, spreading the good news to all nations. Together, we will reach hearts and heal lives. Peter, though uncertain of his path, felt the strength of his calling. In his heart, he vowed to protect and lead his brothers. The sons of thunder, powerful in faith, knew that their fiery spirits would be tempered by love, guided by Jesus' teachings. Andrew's heart was filled with peace, ready to bring others to the path of faith he had found. Philip saw himself as a guide, knowing that he would seek answers, not for himself alone, but for all who yearned for truth. Bartholomew prayed for purity of heart, that he would always remain honest, serving with integrity and humility. In his new family, Matthew felt forgiveness and grace, a chance to live free from his past. Thomas's heart was curious, yearning to understand the depth of Jesus' teachings. James knew he would serve from the shadows, content in his humility and dedication. He understood his purpose to bring kindness and courage into every life he touched. Simon's zeal would be transformed, a passion for peace through justice. Judas, wrestling with his own doubts and questions, stood among them, part of a story that would unfold in ways he could not imagine. With a blessing, Jesus sent them forth, each carrying a piece of his message, each part of his purpose. Together, they walked the path before them, unaware of the trials, miracles, and transformations to come. As he spoke, they learned that to follow was to serve, to sacrifice, and to love beyond measure. In the quiet moments, they prayed for courage, knowing the path would not be easy. They watched as Jesus showed compassion, understanding that the kingdom of heaven belonged to the pure-hearted. Every miracle, every act of love, taught them what it meant to be a follower of Christ. As the storm ceased, they realized that the power of God was with him, and with them through him. With hearts committed, they vowed to stand with him, come what may, bound by love and faith. And so, with faith and unity, they embarked on the mission that would change the world forever. With calm authority, Jesus began to reveal their mission, to reach all people, to teach, to heal, and to spread the message of salvation. In Peter's prayer, they found unity and strength, feeling as though nothing could stand against them if they remained true to Jesus' teachings. John understood that to carry Jesus' message, he must be gentle and loving, especially toward the least and the youngest. The sons of thunder, once eager for prominence, now saw that true greatness was in serving humbly, just as Jesus had shown. Philip's passion for truth shone as he spoke, helping others see the wisdom and kindness of Jesus, lighting the path for them to follow. Andrew's heart rejoiced each time he brought someone closer to Jesus, knowing he was helping others experience the love he himself felt. Doubt is not your enemy, Thomas, Jesus told him gently. In seeking, you strengthen your faith and bring others closer to understanding. Matthew knew what it felt like to be forgiven. He told his story so others would know that no one was beyond Jesus' mercy. Thaddeus found that kindness opened hearts, allowing him to share Jesus' message in a way that touched each person's spirit. Simon realized that true change would come through love, not force or revelation, that transformed his once zealous heart. Judas felt a conflict deep within, torn between his loyalty to Jesus and the ambitions he couldn't quite release. In this act, Jesus showed them that true leadership lies in service. They were moved, humbled, and forever changed. I will follow you to the ends of the earth, Peter declared, his heart full of fierce loyalty. John felt a special closeness with Jesus, his heart deeply connected to the message of love that Jesus embodied. He spoke of forgiveness with a wisdom that reached beyond their understanding, planting seeds of compassion that would blossom in their mission. Andrew realized that in every person's pain, there was a chance to show Jesus compassion. Philip was unafraid to engage deeply, seeking to guide others with patience and insight. Matthew's story inspired others like him, proving that no past mistake could keep them from Jesus' love. Thaddeus knew his role was to be a light, guiding those in darkness to find the peace only Jesus could offer. Their sibling bond grew deeper through their shared purpose, each supporting the other in faith and duty. In that moment, they felt the true power of God's presence with them, their faith renewed in awe of his control over creation. They saw Jesus in his glory, their hearts filled with wonder, realizing the divine nature of their teacher. Thomas learned that faith didn't always require answers. Sometimes, it only required trust. Through Jesus' influence, Simon learned to embrace even those he once opposed, knowing peace was a stronger bond. Empowered and blessed, the 12 knew they would carry Jesus' love and teachings wherever they went. Philip's words touched hearts, his faith drawing people from all walks of life to listen and believe. He knew that in serving the least among them, he was embodying Jesus' love. Matthew felt a responsibility to preserve Jesus' words, knowing their wisdom would guide generations to come. John's compassion was boundless, his love reflecting the heart of Jesus himself. Peter realized that Jesus' power was within him, a strength he could use to bring healing and hope. He reminded them that greatness lay in humility, that to lead was to serve without pride. As he listened, Judas felt both drawn to Jesus and yet troubled by his own ambitions. "I will never leave you," Peter vowed, his voice strong, yet his heart fearful of what was to come. With gentle words, he prepared them, knowing that their faith would be tested but also strengthened. Together, they felt a strength that went beyond any single person. Their unity in Christ was their greatest source of courage. Andrew knew that the simplest acts could hold the greatest love, as Jesus had taught. In quiet moments, he sought clarity, realizing that every moment with Jesus had changed him profoundly. He understood that friendship itself was a ministry, a way to show God's love. They became each other's strength, bound by a love that had grown through trials and triumphs. Their journey was relentless, yet each step brought new lives touched, new souls inspired. Though they would one day walk alone, they carried him in their hearts always. He saw that his questions had led him closer to the truth, each step a testament to his commitment. Philip knew he was part of something eternal, a message that would transcend time. In this final blessing, they felt the full weight of his love, the power of his presence, enduring beyond all limits. They each realized that though they were many, they were united by one purpose. With a heart full of fire, Peter vowed to stand strong, his faith his shield and his sword. In that moment, he knew his life would be dedicated to sharing the heart of Jesus with the world. His journey from zeal to peace was complete, knowing he would fight only for love and justice. In silence, Judas wrestled with his own heart, caught between devotion and doubt. Together, they walked forward, knowing they carried with them the message of salvation, a light for all people.